Please understand that any advice in today's session is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Okay? Alright, so let us have a look at what we have come in. I'll address all the trades that have taken place as I get to the charts, to the relevant charts this week. But let's have a look at what we've got happening, what's happened last week, and where the fundamentals may take us this week. Now, first of all, the US pretty much last week lost ground against most major currencies. All right, so um, a lot of that, I guess, the drop in the US dollar was mainly, to be honest, it's probably more of a technical drop rather than a fundamental. The reality is that the prospect of a rate rise in December has really not changed. It hasn't been changed by any news, data, or any comments made by policymakers. So the fact is that the comments that have been made are still remain hawkish, things along the lines that we don't want to surprise the market, etc., etc. So pretty much the FOMC board is still kind of saying that it's going to happen. That's the indication that they're giving us. So this pullback has really, perhaps has been caused a little bit by the Paris situation, the attacks on Paris, a little bit of profit taking and things along those lines as we set up. But the reality is it's more of a technical pullback. We're inside some really good trades at the moment, US dollar based trades. So everything still remains the same. When we have a look at the charts, we'll see how we play that out. Let's have a look at the euro. The pretty much Mr. Draghi has said that the ECB will do whatever it takes to raise inflation quickly. Okay, and his further comments were that the downside risks have increased in recent months, so they are concerned about that. The way that they can fix that issue is by an increase in the stimulus program. In other words, more quantitative easing, more printing of euros, which will assist that. So pretty much on the last set of minutes that came out Thursday evening, I think it was, or Friday morning for us over here in Australia, the emphasis was that unless there was a sudden improvement in the economy, okay, and we'll get an opportunity to see that even from today, where you can see on my chart. Let me get my drawing pen up. Just give me one moment. We'll get an opportunity to see what the German flash PMI figures are and the French, which are the ones that bear the greatest weight on the euro. That's this evening at 7 and 7:30 p.m. So if the economy doesn't start to show a sudden improvement, you can pretty much, Mr. Draghi has pretty much said that they will continue to further ease the euro, which will make it drop. Okay, so keep that on the back of your mind when we look at our charts. On the Aussie front, the Australian dollar and the Kiwi dollar were perhaps the best performing currencies of the week. And for the Aussie, despite the problems in China and also the depressed commodity pricing, it still has done very, very well, and our own home policymakers believe that the economy has significantly improved. So the Aussie dollar has soared up a little bit as well. Okay, on the week to come, the things to look out for, it is a relatively quiet week in terms of data. We got the euro data, which I've already highlighted there. We got preliminary GDP and confidence figures there. Sorry, I didn't mean to cross that out. Let me fix that one. Okay, we also have unemployment claims is the one that is the most interest, and for Australia, for Aussie data, probably the private capital expenditure figures that are coming out. It's a relatively low week. Probably the one that's going to be most impacted is going to be the Euro USD. So let's keep that on our radar as we analyze the chart. So this is probably our most data impacted currency pair. Okay, as usual, guys, if you have any questions, anything that you hear through the week, or you bring your questions always to the class, type them in. Just as a little hint, just if you keep a little Word document, just type your question in your Word document, then just cut and paste it into the comments. It just saves you a bit of time. Okay, and I'll try my best to answer them. All right, let's bring up our charts. Let's have a look at what we have happening, and let us start off with the Aussie dollar. Okay, pretty straightforward pattern. This one looks really good. We were tracking it last week, and I was a little bit disappointed that I never got an entry off this level. We were over here somewhere last week, and I said let's wait for it up there. We're not quite there yet. I'm not changing my mind, and really in the center of this nice converging triangle, I can't really do anything other than wait for it up there, try and get the price action entry that I want, and let's see if I can shoot back down in this direction. Okay, that's the best thing that I've got on the Aussie dollar right now. I'm not really in trend, I'm in sideways motion, so I'm reluctant to just take a trade for the sake of taking it. So this, what I'm highlighting for you there, is my number one preferred trade. This would be my number two preferred trade. If it was to pull back now from that level down to here, I would rather it got a little bit higher before I try to take this trade, but I will attempt it as well. So these three arrows that I'm showing you, and this one as well, I guess if I rank them, this is number one, my preferred. This would be number two, this would be number three, and this would be number four. Okay, if in order of preference, how I like, which is my preferred trades from this particular pattern, on the assumption that from where we are it goes straight down, or from where we are it goes straight up. Is everybody clear on that? Now, what I'm actually looking for the newer people in the class, if it does go up, this is what I actually want to happen. I would love to get a nice blue candle. Hope you can see that, guys, like that, followed with a little red candle like this. I know it's pink, but these are my limited colors today. And then a nice inside candle. There'll be a fractal over there. We get a nice break there. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, and of course I'm working off a daily chart. All right, does anybody have any questions with that setup? That's what we're looking for. If I see it, I will send a tweet out. All right, I can see some new faces in here today. So it is Chat FX. Okay, so if you go to Twitter and you look me up, that's my Twitter name, ChatFX, and just follow so that when I see it, I'll send it out and you'll be notified for it. Question being asked, why not a sell limit order with a tight stop? Simon, I could try and go in. Okay, the question being asked, just for everybody, give me 1 second. Simon is saying, why don't I just put an order right now at that level, wait for the market to come in, hits it, and then I'm trying to sell. So he's saying, why don't I just put a sell limit there and put a little stop over there, like a tight stop? I could do that. I used to trade like that a long time ago, but what I'm actually doing, the results are much better when I get price action in my favor. I will be covering price action over the next probably 3 weeks. There's three classes that I like to do for situations in trend, counter trends, and hotspots, and sort of breakout price action. So the psychology between the price action and just a straight out order is significant. What sometimes happens is, just because I'm drawing a pattern here, Simon, and to everybody else, if I put in a sell limit there, I'm assuming that the pattern is going to hold. But what I don't know if the pattern's going to hold, because what could happen is it could get the breakout. And don't forget, when you trade converging triangles, the breakout is just as good trade as the rebound off the wall. So if I get the breakout and then the trade goes off in that direction, well, I've already been stopped out. Okay, so what I like to wait for is I like to wait for the activity, see what actually happens at the border. Once I've confirmed what happens, then I'll trade the rebound, or then I'll trade the breakout. It improves my probability significantly. Okay, hopefully I've answered that question. Is that clear to everybody? Great. Okay. All right. So that's our game plan on the Aussie. So right now, the plan is no action. Let's wait to see what happens at the border. Euro USD. Okay, we're in this trade. Who is still, okay, let's ask the question. Who is still in this trade? We've got 1, 2, just 2 people. Who, 3. Okay, there should be, I was hoping half of you were in this trade. 4, 5. Okay. All right, so a lot. Who closed out recently? Who closed out here? Can I just get a little bit of honesty here? Who closed out on this blue candle right here? 1, 2. We got scared. So basically we entered the trade up here. Don't forget, you can see my little arrow there. That was T1. We were down, 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 down. It was going really good and then it just shot back up. So look at the psychology. So a lot of us closed around there and now it's coming back down. It's making the second attempt. I'd be very surprised if I don't hit my second target now. Okay. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's either way, it's a free trade. All right. So, well, this is good. At least we're discovering things. If for those of you who closed out early and started to, because I see some of you typed in that we chickened out or we got scared, those types of things. Um, Basically, you may need a strategy that is shorter term if you're starting to get a bit unsettled and nervous on the trade. Okay, so remember the original trade was we should have entered the trade here because that was the breaking candle. We tried to get in at a better price and we did. We got in over there, and as it turns out we got it smack on the retrace, which is like a little bit fluky, to be honest. We got our T1 over there. When as soon as we hit it, our original stop was up there. We moved our stop there to our entry. So that line you can see is my entry, and that's where my stop is now. We went back. We didn't get stopped out, and we've pushed back down again now, and we're heading towards our T2 target. Okay, so that's the game plan. So what I really need to let me have one quick look at something. Give me 1 second, guys. So this is my trade. Where are we? The trade right now is at, we're sitting at 209 pips or 210 pips positive on our Euro USD, and that's half the trade. The other half has already been closed out. Okay, so it is a free trade. You can see the running balance of the account, that's cashed in. These two are free trades, and that's the equity that I've got floating at the moment. All right, so what are we going to do now for those of you who are not in this, and we're going to try and find something for us. Give me 1 second, and I'll show you the game plan. Okay, now that target that I chose wasn't exactly 2 to 1. It was a little bit shy of 2 to 1, but I chose it because there's a low down here that I'm concerned about that the market may find some resistance. Okay. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. That's why I chose that target. Now, what we're looking for, Romy, which direction for your question? Okay, let me zoom out again. Have a look at this now. We've got a little bit of a hot area here. Oops, sorry, I don't want to modify that, so cancel. There's a little bit of a hot zone in here. Okay, you can see that the market has got a little bit of memory here. It's come off and bounced off. It's done it again, and we are approaching that area again. Okay, in the short direction, I'll have a look at that in 1 moment, Romy. So we're approaching it, and we're coming towards a hot spot. So this is my game plan for this one. Let's zoom in now that I've got that marked. Okay, just to answer the question that got asked, Romy's asking, is that a body engulfing candle there to go short? It is. However, it's not the candle. Normally, I would want this candle here to have the fractal, not that one there. So that would not be acceptable. as price action. This one was, see, that was an inside candle. Okay, this one is not. So basically what I'm trying to say is this is the candle that should be engulfing if I was going to go in that direction, or this red candle should have been higher like this if I was going to go in this direction, because it would have put the fractal up on that one. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Does that answer your question, Romy? So that's not a new setup is basically what I'm saying. So we're still in this trade. So what we want to hope for is the following. We want obviously to go hit our target. You can see there's our target inside that gray area. And then I'm going to look in this area here. I'm going to look for an inside candle to try and get a cheeky counter trend trade off this hot table region. Okay, so what I'm going to look for is the following. Hopefully this candle comes down there somewhere like that, and then I get a blue candle that looks like this, and then I can place my pending order on the break and I can come back in the other direction. Alright, now it's important to notice that for me to tell you that I'm only looking for that trade in this area because we've already, when I zoomed out, I showed you that there's a bit of history there. So I'm not just trying to trade an inside candle anywhere in the chart. I've picked a specific region that improves the probability of the trade coming off. Okay, so is everybody clear on that? Because what I don't want you to do is every time you see an inside candle, just start trying to counter trend it, because you're going to get most of them wrong. All right, well, at least you're going to get 50% or somewhere around about there. And what we want to do is we want to get a better probability than that. All right, so I think everybody is acknowledged, so we're all in agreement. So that's our game plan for the Euro USD. So we're currently still short. Hopefully this candle drops, we hit our target, and the first trade completes, we get a nice price action back in the other direction. And what I will add is back in the other direction, we're going against the fundamentals, we're going against everything, so don't get too stubborn on this trade. Okay, if we get stopped out, we get stopped out. Just apply the correct rules as always. All right, let's move on. GBP USD. Okay, we hit our second target. Who got both targets on this trade? Show of hands, please. Who hit both targets? Okay, who hit one target? So one person hit one target. Two. Okay, you can see here there was that inside candle setup that we always look for. Okay, it happened right at the bottom of this falling wedge. All right, we can see the entry mark. There's my little entry mark there. Target 1 and target 2. Now remember that our original target was up here, but as the trade started to develop, I said let's bump it down a little bit, basically to cater for that, and we just hit it. All right, so somebody sent me an email during the week asking me. I'll come to that in a moment when I get to the US yen, because it's more related to the US yen. All right, so we've hit our targets. Now I was hoping that I could have got an entry back down, but I didn't. I'm in the middle of the wedge, kind of in no man's land. Let me have a quick look on a 4-hour chart, see if I can find us something. can't see anything, guys, so I don't want to force a trade when there's no trade to be had. So what we're going to do is we are going to wait. We're going to wait for this to come back down to us, and let's see if we can sneak one more trade out of this pattern. Alright, so we are going to wait for it over here, and we're going to try and hit it that direction. This trade down, you don't trade down on a falling wedge. Okay, you don't trade a breakout down. You can trade this direction. So if, for example, this turned around now and went at it again, this top trade here might be on. Okay, so what I'll do is if I see it, I will send it out. At the moment, it's not set. These are daily candles, so this one may or may not happen this week. I'm not sure. Okay. Somebody said, making a comment that they didn't bump down the stop. I pretty much, when I modify a trade, I always send it out through Twitter, Andrew. So you got to stay alert on the Twitter if you want to hear it. Okay. Someone's just making a comment that my audio is jumping in and out. Is anybody else having that problem? Usually it's no, okay, everybody's good. Usually it's your internet on your side. If it's jumping in and out on the recording, it'll be 100%, so you can catch it there. My Twitter address is chatfx. What I might do in the future is I might just have it in the top corner for the whole class, so I don't type it in all the time. Chatfx. Okay, so it's at chatfx. All right, so that's our plan for the GBP. Okay, so let's leave it as it is. We just got to wait to see what happens on the side. So let's move on to gold. Okay, gold, we are at historic lows. So this is a daily chart. You can see that I'm really zoomed out. Go back to 2013. So let me see how far back. Okay, so we haven't been this low since about 2010. Okay, so what that means, when we're hitting these historic lows, if you're trying to take this trade, this is the most dangerous time to take this type of trade, because everything down here, we don't know. Probably a lot of people are trying to take this trade, and they're all putting their stops over here, so the market falls and trickles down lower. Okay, and it's constantly an issue with the stops. All right, so I thought about on Friday, no, I think it was Thursday. I did get an inside well, I got this reversal pattern, 3 candle reversal pattern on a hotish area, and I thought about putting out and taking along, but then I just didn't. So right now, I really just want to wait and see. Okay, it's not the time. See, gold is going to be strongly affected by if there is a rate decision and it goes and they are in December and they do raise rates, we should see commodities drop off. Okay, so we should see gold fall even lower. And considering the fact that there is no history, the market has not been this low for, like 5 years. There's a lot of stops building up over here. As soon as it falls, you could see one big candle fall. Okay, so we just want to, let's just sit it out. Okay. All right. So for gold, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to watch until I see something that I really like. I won't touch it. Let's move on to the US yen. Okay, US yen. We are still in a US yen trade. We are roughly 80 pips up on the trade. First part of the trade has closed out. You can see our entry level there. There's my T1. Okay, this is the one. I received a couple of emails regarding the US yen. Someone said, remember we got the breakout. This big candle was the breakout and we were looking at sort of going in that direction. Now we got it late, so we didn't have an opportunity to get in at this level. And we said, well, I still want to get in on this trade. I want to participate. So let's pick a level for a pullback to try and get in at. Now I just randomly chose, well, let's call it, it's a little bit of watching the markets for a long time. It's a little bit of intuition. Normally when you get a breakout, the market can sometimes pull back to around about this region here. But the fundamentals on this pair is so strong forward that I just felt that it wasn't going to go that far back. So I chose this level there. As it turns out, it got us right on and we already exited half the trade, right? Well, the reason I removed the risk was we just want to basically try and get you trading more, I guess, mind-free, stress-free. The original stop was over here. You can see my little marker there. And once I hit T1, I've moved it to my entry. So it's a free ride. And I remember this trade is a long-term trade. Look where our target is. We're targeting around about 128, which is a long way away from where we are now. But it's up to you. First of all, who took the first bit of the trade? Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all right. Just I'll give you an idea of the numbers in the room at the moment. We got around about 27. Okay, just so that you have an idea on the percentages. Who took some profit and is still in on the trade? We nearly came back and got stopped out. Okay. Okay, so we've got some of you still in. Great. All right. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's see if they do raise the rates in December. We need that to happen to give us the bump and the move towards where we want to go. Okay, so for right now on the US yen, I really don't have anything because we're well in this trade and I have no interest of going short. In fact, this is a reconfirmation of a long. Now we're in trend here. Does everybody agree that that looks like trend? Okay. Yes. Great. So have a look. First of all, this one here is an engulfing candle pattern with the fractal down the bottom. So that would have meant an entry over here. Now we were already lucky that we got a better entry, but that's the first trade. Today, here is an inside candle situation right there. See the inside candle? Inside trend, and at the break, you would have got an entry there. So if someone has just turned up to these classes for the first time and you're looking for a trade, all right, there is one right there. Okay, now we're in a longer term trade, but we just triggered again there. So basically US yen, only interested in one direction at the moment. We've got a free trade on the table, so we're going to try and ride this wave as long as we can. All right, I've got nothing else for you on this one. Let's move on. Euro yen. Okay, we've got a falling wedge. Let me zoom in. We got this set up the other day. However, we broke in the downward direction, which meant that it did not trigger. By the time I saw it, because I forgot to look, it had already broken down, so I never sent out the signal at all. Okay, so it never triggered. Now, it doesn't look like I'll get a trigger Depends what this current candle looks like. It's already very little, so it's maybe this candle does. Okay, this could do this. If this engulfs that one like that, it'll have the fractal here, and then tomorrow you can take your trade there. That's one thing that may happen. The other thing that may happen is this one may end up like this, and then tomorrow we get another one like this, and the next day you take your trade in that direction. That's the second option. If anybody is interested in this trade, I've got a trade for you right now. I'll show it to you. I have to jump to a 1 hour chart. Let me jump over to a 1 hour chart. And what I have for you is a bullish butterfly. Now, some of you have never seen this trading pattern. I haven't actually covered it for a while. So what I might do this week, this Thursday, I'm going to cover harmonic trading patterns with you. Okay, so for those of you who've never seen it, I'll cover those this Thursday. Now, this is a 1 hour chart. Now, what I like about this one is that this pattern is also there on a daily. It's also there on a 4 hour chart and on a 1 hour chart. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this trade live with you right now. If you've never traded a harmonic pattern, just watch it. All right. So what I'm going to attempt to do, I'm going to place my stop. Let me just measure my risk out for a second. I'll just put you guys on mute. Give me one moment. Okay, I want to reduce my risk on it. I think I got, did I trade euro yen for the candle flip, guys? Can somebody remind me? I got stopped out on something. What was it? Was it euro yen or no? It was Kiwi dollar. I got stopped out here, Kiwi dollar. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm jumping in right now live, and I'm going to place my stop around about here. When I cover this strategy on Thursday, I'll talk a lot more about it, but I'm going to place my stop around about there, which is going to put me at about 30 pips. I'm happy with that. Give me 1 second. 30 pips. I'm going to risk. It's a little bit different trade than normal, so I'm going to only risk $50 on this one. Okay. Here we go. Okay, I'm in. Yeah, let me place my stop now. I'll just adjust it now in a second. Okay, I want to place my stop about here. Okay, I've just given myself a 2-to-1 ratio. Let me just draw my chart so everybody understands what I've done. I've just entered at market. Right there, there's my line. There's my stop. And this is my target. This is 2-to-1. So that'll be T2. And if I get to T1, I will take action as well. Okay. So is everybody clear on that? My stop is approximately, I think it's 32 pips. I'm risking $50 on the trade. You work out whatever you need to work out, and let's see how it goes. Any questions? We're all good? Okay, let's move on. All right, Kiwi Dollar. All right, Kiwi Dollar. I got stopped out on a candle flip trade that I took last Thursday. I think I was trying to risk around about $50 and I lost 59. I think it's just the sizing that I took. So it's there or thereabouts. Um, that's trading, not to worry. Let's have a look what we have now. Okay, what I can see right now on the Kiwi Dollar, I don't have a trade right now, but who thinks that this kind of looks like trend? That section there. Now these are daily candles. What do we think? Yes or no? Okay. Yep. All right. So most of you would agree with me. So what I'm looking at is if today's candle, which is this one here, if this candle was to finish right now, and a new candle was to start straight away, what would happen is I'm going to get a fractal there on the middle candle, and then this three candle sequence is a reversal pattern, okay, which basically would indicate that going up and then back down. So what I would do is I'd take a trade straight away at the open. All right, so what I need to wait for is I need to wait till this current candle, this one here, finish. Let's see what it looks like tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and then I'll be ready to see if I can take a trade down or not. Okay, now I only want to take it down because I'm inside the trend. All right, so I don't want to take it right now. I need to wait for this candle to finish. Someone is saying that looks like we're in a channel. Let's have a look. I think I looked at this. Maybe it's in a 4 hour. Give me a sec. It's not quite a channel. I was trying to make it fit, but it doesn't really fit in. So no, I wouldn't really call it a channel. It's close, okay, but it's not quite. All right. So does everybody understand what we're doing for the Kiwi dollar? We're gonna wait until tomorrow. Let's see what this candle looks like. And what we need is we actually need this candle to close lower than halfway of this candle. Okay, it must close lower and preferably, look, hopefully it just comes down a little bit more and closes right there. That's the pattern that I'm really looking for. All right, I may get it, I may not. We'll find out tomorrow. Okay, let me have one quick look on a 4 hour. 1 second. No, there's nothing there. So let's stick with the original plan. We're going to wait till current candle finishes. Let's have a look at it tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, and we'll make a decision then. All right. Finally, let's have a look at the Euro Aussie. Okay, Euro Aussie. I have already marked out for you a hot-ish area. We can see that the market has come up to this area and has rejected in the past, and then it's gone through the other way and bounced off it in the past. So we know that this is an area where the market has used as support and resistance before. So what we would like to see is, and it's starting to set up right now, is we may get a inside candle formation to take a bounce off this tabletop sort of thing. So let me zoom in a little bit better and we'll have a look. Now, I believe that the red is lower than the blue. Give me 1 sec. 47011, 4705. Yes, it is. So if this candle was to finish right now, and it looks exactly like it does, we would get a little fractal on this candle, and then we could place a pending order on the break, and as we break through, we would be in the trade in that direction. Now remember, if this in this setup, if it actually doesn't break up and it breaks down, you got to go back and cancel your order out. All right, so this one, we haven't traded the Euro Aussie for a little while. It's been in an area where we weren't quite sure, it wasn't setting up, but this time we are on a hot region. I can see that the market has shown a level of sort of movement away from that area, so I'm happy to try and trade a bounce off here if I actually get that. Okay, so again, for this one I need to wait till tomorrow morning to see what this candle looks like, and then I'll be in a much better position to actually make that trading decision. Any questions on this one? Okay, any questions off topic, anything at all, guys? Feel free to type it in. Let me just go back and I'll review what our strategy is for this week. It's a little bit lighter on trades for us this week, and of course, don't forget when I'm in trades already, like I need to see those trades out, so I can't just continually add trades if I'm already in on some. Okay, Aussie dollar. We're right in the middle of the channel. We've got to wait till we get towards the edges before we can see a setup. Euro USD, we are currently short. The game plan is that hopefully it keeps dropping, hits our second target, and sets up a nice bounce off this hot region. So let me zoom out so we can all see that hot region. There it is down the bottom here. Okay, you can see that we've traded these hot areas before. So what we're looking to do is possibly get another opportunity to trade off this region back up. Okay, so that's Euro USD, GBP USD. We currently have nothing on the table for GBP USD. We're in the middle of this falling wedge, so we've got to wait till we get to the edges again. Gold, we are entering dangerous grounds on gold with the Fed Reserve decision looming. If we fall through here, we could easily fall to the 1000 level. All right, so anybody who just wants to go long for the sake of going long, very dangerous trade. Let's wait this one out. US yen, we're still currently long. T1 has been hit. We've got a free trade. If anybody is new and wants to join in, there was also an inside candle right now in a trend, which had you got it smack right, if you enter right now, you're basically entering about 12 pips worse off than if you had taken the break straight away. Okay, so we're still long here. We're going to try and hold on for as long as we can. We're targeting around about 128, and we need the Fed Reserve to give us the interest rate increase to bump us along. Euro yen, we're on the euro yen, we're on the falling wedge, okay, and we've taken a trade based off this bullish butterfly. Now I've taken a trade which is smaller risk than normal because this is not a type of trade that I normally take on a Monday. So we're risking $50 on this one compared to the normal 100 that we would go for. So my stop's about 32 pips. Let me give you the levels. I got it. My entry was 137.96. Stop at 130.47. My T2 target is 131.46.7. Okay, if I get to T1, I will take action, of course, as always, and hopefully you've got your own game plan for T1. Okay, question, as I'm new to trading, don't understand a few things, but mostly I trade for small 10, 20 place trades. Poonam, just keep attending the classes. I know for some of you, like if this is the first time that you've joined in, a Monday class can sound a little bit advanced, and I'll make a lot of assumptions. The purpose of Mondays is I'm really trying to give everybody an outlook for what I think is showing for the week. I look at key things like the fundamentals, the technicals, and I try and take trades. Now, a lot of the people that come on Mondays have been with me for quite a long time, and they've been watching our accounts grow, and we're trading together. The Thursday classes, I go into a lot more detail, and I look at a new strategy every week, as well as concepts such as risk, the one-to-one point, and things of that nature. So those things I will address them. Normally over a 3-month cycle, I cover those all the time. Okay, all right. So that's our euro yen. We're in the market. Kiwi dollar. Let's wait till tomorrow, see what this candle looks like. We'll probably get a setup. And finally, euro Aussie. Again, let's wait to see what the current candle looks like. We may get an inside candle for a counter trend trade off this hot spot there. Okay. Any final questions? Okay, we're all good. Well, hopefully, can I just get it before you leave? Show of hands, who is it? Did anybody take that euro yen trade? I just want to see. Okay, a few of you. Okay. All right, well, let's hope the euro yen goes up. I'll cover harmonic patterns on Thursday. If you've never done it before, good idea to come. I'll cheat a little bit. I'll give you a couple of tools that will help you find them. I'll explain how they work. We'll look for some, and then I'll give you the cheating way so that you can find them really, really easy. Okay? Have a great week. See you on Thursday, 3:30. Bye for now.